U.S. is concerned Russia may be attempting to rehash 2014 invasion of Ukraine. I don't think he's trying, that they may be attempting. I think they're going to. But that's a big thing coming from Anthony Blinken as far as somebody who was on several committees, and he's now saying that. And then Britain intercepts Putin nukes bombers over North Sea and sends troops to Russia's doorstep as Ukraine tensions erupt.
Hello. Hi.
Niall, what is going on? You are live on Marfoogle News.
All right. So I'm a resident of Tacoma, Washington, and I would like to share with you Psalms 91. God has put it on my heart. It's a deep subject for today's time. And then I would like to ask you a few questions afterwards, possibly about Enoch and Elijah and if they're going to return before the Antichrist or after. And so I will start with Psalms 91. Verse 1, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. 2, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him who I trust. 3, surely he will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. 4, he will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. 5, you will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by the day. Verse 6, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. Verse 7, 1,000 may fall at your side, at your right side. 10,000, no. Okay, sorry. Verse 7, 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. Verse 8, you will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. Verse 9, if you make the Most High your dwelling, even the Lord, who is my refuge, then no harm shall befall you. No disaster will come near your tent. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You will tread upon the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because he loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him with a long life. I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. So those are the words of Psalm 91.
Thank you. Again, I made sure to show it on screen as well. For those who did flip over to join us, That was Psalms 91. It's a little bit different on this one because it's a different version, but it essentially says the same thing. Instead of tent, it says dwelling, and things like that.
Sure. But I enjoy God promising me everything you said. And I can't be afraid of anything that anyone tells me against what is written. And I am super happy to testify to everyone that nobody else does either. Nobody else has to fear the wickedness that Satan has put upon the world. We don't have to agree to any of it. We are blessed, sanctified, set apart, and we bring glory to God. And there isn't any way that Satan can contend with us except to manipulate and deceive and kill and destroy. And he is the wicked thing that is the plague on this earth. And anyone who searches, seeks, and divides those who love God from their neighbor, those guys ought to be put in jail.
Well, now, just want to let you know we're a little bit over time. I did want to make sure that you got all of Psalms 91.
Enoch and Elijah, they're coming back. So, do they come before the Antichrist or after? And then, shortly after the Antichrist comes, then there's going to be the star that falls, and bam! And then the angel comes out, and he releases all these freaking things that nobody knows anything about, and they sting people for 6 months. What's that about?
Well, I don't know if you're asking a question or if you're telling me.
I'm telling you and asking the question. Have you not read Revelations?
I've read Revelations, but I am not familiar. I'm not caught up on Enoch yet, the book of Enoch.
The Valley of Megiddo. Okay, there's a star that falls from the heavens, and it hits the Valley of Megiddo, and it opens the bottomless pit. Are you familiar?
I'm not an expert, no.
No, okay. So, out of this pit, the angel, Abaddon, he's spoken about by Enoch, in a few books. But anyways, yes, this angel comes out of the ground, and then all these things that are described as, a breastplate of iron, a head of a lion, wings of a hummingbird or whatever. I'm not sure, but the description sounds like a drone flown by a man, or something similar. And I think these times are legitimate per second as we speak.
Well, and Niall, we're going on 15 minutes. We usually give 5 minutes. I wanted to give you extra time because I realized that you had to get out all of Psalms 91. But as far as your question, I'm not an expert on it. I've read through the Bible completely twice, but if anyone who has ever read the Bible, it's very hard. You have to study it many hundreds of times each part to get to know every part of it.
I haven't stopped. I'm 40 years old.
Exactly.
So
once when I was a child and once when I was 23. I read all the way through it again, and I want to read it again, and so does my wife. Really, you have to study it. You have to study it way more than that to even absorb a lot of it, because you're absorbing a different language.
There is no time limit to discovering the Creator who made you. And He will bring us all to glory and glory. And I just praise God, and I thank Him for this time, and I am thankful to you also. And I hope that everyone who has heard this will be blessed in, some way.
Well, God bless you, and I appreciate your call. And I Psalms 91 might be something that someone needed tonight. You never know. Anytime there is guaranteed somebody who needed that.
He made the pestilences. There isn't any cell in your body that God cannot defend against.
Yeah.
Anything that comes into your body that's a pestilence, He's made a way.
Yeah. Again, the main point of that is basically when you have the Lord, when you have Jesus, you're basically, it's almost invincible. It won't come near you. If you
are
have faith.
invincible.
Yes. Again, it was
with the Spirit of God. He blesses you and gives you greatness.
Now,
and there isn't anything that anyone else can say against it. And He loves you.
It's your first time call. We're going on 18 minutes, so I got to let you go. We do have a couple articles that we need to cover on DLive. Thank you so much.
First time call.
Now, God bless you. Again, Psalms 91 will be linked on the website if you want to go over and read that yourself. I always give first-time callers extra time. It's your first-time call. Don't make it your last. You don't have to be a stranger. And he's local. We switched over during that. I really wish this would have gotten on the main show as far as Britain intercepts Putin's nukes bombers over North Sea and sends troops to Ukraine. Russia's doorstep as Ukraine tensions erupt. So pretty big stuff going on here. RAF planes have intercepted a pair of Russian nuclear bombers on UK, deploys troops on Russia's doorstep. Tens of thousands of Russian troops have set up camp near the border with Ukraine as tensions grow amid fears as the Kremlin is plotting an invasion. I don't think they're plotting. I think they're preparing for an invasion. And the bad thing is either one of these get close, you know that they're going to do it at the same time as Taiwan. China's going to take Taiwan. Russia's going to take Ukraine. They've talked about it. They said that they're basically best friends through this. So they almost used that exact sentence. They said that, I think in Russian, they actually said that in Putin's interview about a week and a half ago. So you never know. It says the Dutch Air Force said its planes, along with those from the RAF, as well as the Belgian and Norwegian Air Forces, intercepted the two Tu-160 bombers. So definitely some stuff going on there.
And Adam, we called this, right?
Yes, we did.
We've been saying they're coming back. Like the first round was a test. It was a test to see how the world was going to react. It was a test to see how the administration here was going to act and react. And they got all their equipment in place. They got their people in place. They pretty much ran a full-scale drill. And then at the last minute said, nah, it's just a drill, right? But they left everything. And they came back, and then they came back and said, we're going to run another drill in November. Well, this is the drill. It's starting. And is it really a drill, or is it really a re-escalation? And by the way, in the Ukraine, there is always a conflict underway inside the borders of the Ukraine, because there is always a conflict with Russian supporters versus Ukraine supporters inside there. So they're constantly having their own little skirmish and battles near the borderlines anyway. So it's just, when this amps up, it just says, okay, we'll take those little sparks from the flame and we're going to throw some gasoline on them big time.
Yeah, and so if this either of these or both of them happen, that's the trigger that would start everything off. So I mean, we're talking about real close. This is not 2024. This may be happening right now. If it turns out to not be a drill, this would be like a right now type of thing. So people are paying attention. Now we are off of YouTube and everything else. I just want to say, everybody that is still here that is over on DLive, pay attention, people, because this is where the real deals would happen. I would say if we had like a orange, red, or a blue, yellow, orange, red alert, I would say that as far as getting closer to something actually happening, we are more in like the orange or red, because this is one of the things we have shown you and we put together over a year. And like Dex says, we called this when they lined up the troops on the border, and then they said, well, we'll be back. This is the we'll be back. This is them doing exactly what we predicted, and everything's lined up. Same with China and the South China Sea. The stuff that I can't say anything publicly about the South China Sea stuff yet. That stuff is all happening like right now. So this very well, I'm hoping that it's not. So, Dex.
And it's no different than what you saw with Hong Kong, right? Where China put in people and got people all the way into the government levels, right?
Yep.
To support their cause, right? And they were able to take it without necessarily, I mean, they may have fired a shot or two, but, rolling in troops and rolling in MPs and police is one thing, right? But it's not the same as completely, going to full on combat, right? But we're seeing that, and we've always seen that with Russia and the Ukraine. There is a support for Russia in the Ukraine. It's just not that big, but it's been one that Russia's been trying to grow, right? And that's how, it happened with Crimea. Crimea ended up being a big portion of it, and then there's a lot left over, and we'll see. This has the potential to explode really big, really quick, and I think we'll probably end up seeing this and Taiwan at around the same times. To be honest, it just makes sense that if they're going to put together a global conflict, you're going to see it on multiple fronts. Otherwise, it's not called a global conflict.
Now, Dex, also to go into basically the too hot for TV, if you want to explain that. We also people also need to go over there for anything that was missed today. They essentially need to go over to marfooglenews.com, and then tomorrow we have an exciting. Well, actually, I guess it might be a couple days. We will talk about. There's some new stuff on the off-grid side, so I will show you this. I was gonna wait until I'm like super excited. Let's watch this real quick. So these are the new off-grid bags. And this has the off-grid backpack. What is cool about this is that it is essentially, it can protect everything you put in there. So this can protect against basically all your electronics you can put in there, and then you are protected against EMP. You're protected against, of course, being tracked. You have key fob. You have everything, and this thing comes with everything you need to protect everything that you have with you. This is essentially, the most badass bag they've got. So again, marfooglenews.com/offgrid. I can't wait. I'm going to get one. They're going to send me out one. So I'm not going to give my opinion until I have it, but I already know I love the off-grid bags and I use them every single day. So if you have not already, go over and check them out. marfooglenews.com/offgrid.
Yeah, and in addition to that backpack, Adam, they also launched, I think it's playing in just right after the mobile one that we're all used to, they launched this duffel bag. And this duffel bag is huge. Like you could put everything you want to save from an EMP or everything you want to save in a Faraday inside the main duffel bag. The whole thing is a giant Faraday bag. And it also has a slot for your laptop and for your phone and for your keys. So it makes it extremely versatile. But this is military grade. I mean, they built this for specific government agencies that needed these protections, right? And then they turned around and said, okay, how do we make this into a consumer product, right? And that's what we have our hands on here. And these literally just came out and they were just launched, and we're going to be one of the first to have them and show everybody. It's really cool. We're
one of the first that's not one of these agencies, right? So this is huge. This is the first time that the same company that's been outfitting these, they're able to bring it to consumers. This is what I'm saying. If you look at how they're protecting themselves, that's what we need. As far as the duffel bag, that's a go bag that's protected against EMP and against as far as just everything. I mean, and you're not tracked. Anything that goes in this duffel bag is not trackable. Think about that. Nobody can hack any device in this duffel bag. You can put multiple electronics in here and they're not hackable. They're not trackable. Think about that. So I'm super excited.
And they give us a discount. So and when I say us, the Foogle fam, you get a discount. Use our link, use the code, save some dough. Big time.
That is code Marfoogle. Okay, Dex, talk about the web-only content. There's some...
Oh my gosh. There is so much on web-only content, guys. And it's kind of because we didn't do a show yesterday, but there was so much that happened yesterday as well with the trial. So if you haven't been up to date on the trial, you can pretty much go there and catch up on it. Everything from, the fact that Binger, which is the prosecution attorney's name, is now in the Urban Dictionary, which is kind of funny. All the way through a lot of the details of some of the things that did and didn't happen throughout the trial, and what exactly evidence is what was presented in the last bit from his testimony through all of the last bits of video, and even some crazy stuff around pixels, and they were trying to say how when you enlarge an image, you're basically adding pixels, and the computer has to determine what those pixels are, right? And that's all introducing new colors into an image. And there was a big debate over this tiny little spot in this big image, which could, I don't think it'll make or break the case, but it was a big thing, at least for one side of the case, that they really wanted to draw everybody's attention to. And it's really like looking at a pin drop in a moving video. It's really hard to tell anything there. But yeah, go check it out. So total coverage on that trial. It's pretty much wrapped up. Just so you know, Monday they'll go into closing arguments, and I guess it'll probably be done Monday to the jury. So that's the big update on that. There's a lot of other things going on. MarfoogleNews.com. Click on the thumbnail for the show. Go to web only content. Everything else that you've been missing or we can't talk about, or it's too hot for TV. We're kind of not necessarily on TV right now, so we could go into some of this stuff, but there's a lot. So go check it out. Even somebody saying another celebrity wants to run for president, Howard Stern, which I kind of laugh at when I think about yet another celebrity that wants to throw their hat in the ring. And then don't forget, right below there is all of our caller information from tonight. So
I'm sorry.
MarfoogleNews.com.
So by the way, Howard Stern has turned into this political commentator, and he, first of all, used to be all about freedom of speech and everything else. Now he's taking the sides of not. But not only that, he got involved in Hollywood. Once he joined the America's Got Talent or whatever, I think that's what he's on, he turned into this complete Hollywoodized, and now he thinks he's the ish. I mean, like, he already had the biggest radio show, but now he's this, like, just sorry, but I think he's obviously an asshole. He thinks he's self-proclaimed an asshole. He is the Simon Cowell of the show, right? He's the one who insults everybody, but he's also just a jack.
He is. And what's crazy, I used to listen to him, and I used to, not all the time, it wasn't like a diehard, but he was entertaining. I would listen to him, but now I just don't like it. Like, ever since, and you're right, about the time he got on America's Got Talent, he just flipped. He flipped that script.
Yeah, he's something else there. So again, something. Hold on here. All right, thank you guys. It is now time for the shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro.
Marfoogle News are on the news. I choose Marfoogle. 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 Fox, Maria Daly, Seth Covington, and Genius by Earth, and by birth, and by Earth, I Earth. Marfoogle. Marfoogle. Marfoogle news are on the news. I choose Marfoogle. Marfoogle news are on the news. I choose Marfoogle. 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 Marfoogle news are on the news. I choose Marfoogle. 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 Marfoogle news are on the news. I choose Marfoogle. 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 Marfoogle news are on the news. I choose Marfoogle. 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 Carry on the resin and the mermaid. Everybody know it will be okay. Don't be a beggar running everybody down the staring on your own now. Who is XCT? Simply pony with the Mr. C. Sirens on the buzzer and the Sonic Bug and X-Jam, X-Dude and the Desi Devil and the Miss Bell and the Van and the Quad and the only Charlie Quill with the Ron with the Richard Turner. Hey, gon' go 777 and the Susan Johnny Hugh, Leslie on and the down with the dozen laid down. Big San Diego, the Ranch and the Delaware Sand Squad, Triple Shell down with the Sir. time. Wanna be back with the Hollywood and now wanna down with the sweet aloha dreams to a all. Jeremiah Bray, Mike P.O.B. and the go with Che. Everybody with the evil wanna say with the sweet top. Wanna make it no fade away. Everybody knows it will be a brand new day. Carolina Rouge and a lead dispenser. Wanna be in the Carolina every ever. Huism, no one's coming to help. Don't be the last to prep, and everybody knows that's the truth. Ladies Spencer, thanks for your support. Divine 1122, thanks for your support. Divine 1122, 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 Divine 1122. Now that we know that Fauci funded the Wuhan labs. Hey people, you can take off your mask. Now that we know that Fauci funded the Wuhan labs. Hey people, you can take off your mask. Now that we know that Fauci funded the Wuhan labs. Hey people, you I got the jungle. I want the 2000. On the Susie, everybody got it. Ooh, baby. Hey, ooh, baba. I bring it, ooh, dabba. Oh, Hama, be back. Don't sound Clyde. Everybody knows it. How about it? How about high? Everybody really gonna find. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let the Spencer, everyone. Let the Spencer, everyone find. Let the Spencer, everyone find. Let the Spencer, everyone finds. Let the Spencer, everyone finds. Let the Spencer, everyone finds. Let the Spencer, Hey people, you can take off your mask. Now that we know that Fauci funded the Wuhan labs. Hey people, you can take off your mask. Now that we know that Fauci funded the Wuhan labs. Hey people, you can take off your mask. Now that we know that Fauci funded the Wuhan labs. Hey people, you can take